Thank you, Coach. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Seattle Seahawks. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Throwing on first down. Fields. Oh, he's going to take a shot. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. The 20. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Throwing left side, it's complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. No gain on the screen there. It's second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 46. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. They're going to look to throw. And they'll have it in the red end zone before he crosses over out of bounds. It's the first time that they've looked his way tonight, and he comes up with a first down on the play. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to play. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was fairly easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit! Hot!
And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down. A false start backs him up 5, first and 15.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39. Gun, gun. Gun, gun. Hot.
Operating from the gun. Fields. Escaping the pressure right. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now second down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry?
Detroit!
Well, that went right out the
Detroit!
window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
Gun, gun. Gun, gun.
Looking to throw on second down. Fields. And it's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, Fields. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Now back to throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be second down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He's going to air one out. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. They'll look to throw, and this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Being chased out left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down.
Like the footwork back there, I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss.
Gun, 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 gun.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Now he's forced out left. Going for it all. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Looking to throw. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from, working his way into the second.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. In for the score. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. Extra point right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started. All even as the kick's away. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. On first down, Fields. Dancing to his left. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Hang on now. Green 39. Green 39.
To throw on second down, Fields. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. The
Well, you were backed up into a 2nd and long, but instead of trying to get the yardage back in chunks, he's trying to get it all back at once. And this defense was just lying in wait, and they're there to pick this one off.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Wide open receiver complete. And he's taken down inside the 30. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. Now it brings up 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the 1st.
Detroit!
On 1st and 10, Fields finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. A minute 58 to go in this first half of play. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Looking to throw. Fields. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A gain of 32 that time.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Fields, flush to his right. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal. And he is the NFC rating Offensive Player of the Week. You got to think, all the guys that take the field each and every week, that's not an easy award. Always has to feel good to grab it.
It has to feel great because it separates you, at least for a week, amongst your peers. And for him to separate again, he has had the same type of a game. That means being explosive off the line of scrimmage and catching everything that comes his way.
He's going to get it running right. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fight?
It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. As his guys are in for 6. And the Vikings have tied it. They can grab the lead with a PAT.
After nearly 30 minutes of football, that touchdown puts us in a position where if they make the extra point, we're right back to even before we start the second half.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will give them the lead here as we get on towards halftime. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
15 seconds, all that remains for this first half as they come up 1st and 10. Another timeout called by the Vikings now, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Going for the deep ball. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 16. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. A final shot before break. Fields steps away to his left. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. So we hit halftime with our visitors. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This one fielded at the 5. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Watch him now, Barney. Barney.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
I think someone's going to get in the QB1's ear when he gets to the sideline. Already thrown an interception. That one should have been picked. Look, let's just be honest about it. That'd be the second person in his ear because he's hearing it in the huddle right now.
Not the start to the game he wanted. Like you said, the pick on the opening drive, second drive, not much better. And the Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll look to throw here. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A big play there with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. He'll look to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Able to get there and pick it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done.
And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in. Inside the 35 before he goes out of bounds. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. For a lot of people, MVP award means a quarterback award usually, but over 100 yards again last week. They're going to have to look his way more than once when giving out this award this season, I think.
Yeah, it's not just the consistency. It's been some plays that we've seen where we talk about it for weeks thereafter. That's what we're getting out of him. Over 100 yards last week. Expects to continue that in this game, too.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Gone, 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 gone. All right, now, lucky 56, lucky 56.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw, eluding the pressure right. And this is caught for a touchdown. Now hold everything here, flag in the backfield. This one might be coming back. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw. Fields flushed out right. Looking for the end zone. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. In for the score. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks. To throw now on first down. And that one falls incomplete. Try to dump it underneath. Now second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Back to throw here. And that's incomplete.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they've missed a golden opportunity.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. So a good spin move, but not a whole lot to show after as he's taken down. Well contained there defensively. The screen gets only a yard, and it's 4th. This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. They'll try and throw for it here. Forced out to his left. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Now they'll run it on the toss. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Gone!
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. Now he's going to go deep down the left. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. Looking to throw. Fisher. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this belongs to the Vikings.
Well, that two-point attempt failed due to the fumble, but people can't see this, but you got a ball in your hands now, and you got the thing locked in pretty well. You got it covered up.
I love having a football in the booth. I always hang on to it. It makes me feel like I actually played back in my day.
Well, you probably could have. If you had run that play, you would not have fumbled. I can tell you that.
Maybe. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But also have to remember, they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Escaping the pressure right. Now he'll let this one go deep right sideline. That's caught inside the 20. And he finally is out of bounds, but he's down inside the 20-yard line.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
And he stopped immediately there. Back now in Seattle, Washington. And we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the 4th.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
To throw on 2nd down. Fields being chased out left. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
Watch it now,
So I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, look to fight another down, right?
And he'll be well short of a 1st down as he stopped again right at the line of scrimmage. Have to kick this field goal, don't you?
No question about it. Look at the clock. Look at the situation. Kick the field goal.
Carlson able to put this one through. And with that, they will move ahead by 2 here in the 4th. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. As we come up here on 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Throwing to start the drive. Fisher out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. A good first down call as the screenplay gets him 9. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky.
Throwing on first down. Fisher. He's going to wind up and air it out. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
No. Check. Patriot.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. On first down, Fisher. Now they go screen. It's complete. Got some real estate inside the 30. And finally marked down at the 23. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Blue 90.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Now they try the right side here. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. Now a handoff looking right. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
We got three down. Hey, fellas, we got 3. Let's go. Detroit! Detroit!
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Another timeout called by the Vikings now, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This for the lead in the final stages. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they manage the clock exactly right.
He spins free. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
Yeah, they practice this all the time,
they practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect.
Gun! 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 Gun!
He's back to throw. Dancing to his left. Now a desperate. And got his man complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. And that one results in 35 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Gun! Gun!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Leopard! Leopard! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Leopard! Leopard!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain.
Leopard!
It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
At this stage, you've got to hustle, got to get back to the line of scrimmage because you're saving that timeout to make sure you have a chance to get your kicker out there for the big shot.
Gun! 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 Gun!
On 3rd down. That's Carpenter. Calling no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
No. Check. Patriot. Patriot. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And they're out of timeouts, remember, so this is going to have to be a delay. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. What pressure as this thing all rests on the foot of Daniel Carlson. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. What pressure as this thing all rests on the foot of Daniel Carlson. This from 55 yards out. And he's not able to come through. This is no good. And that is how this game comes to a close. So a field goal that could have won it went awry. Pretty good distance field goal. It wasn't a chip shot, but still, that one's going to stick with him for a little while, you'd have to think.
It is, and I know that he missed that one, and they walk off the field, and obviously they don't feel great about themselves. They just lost the game. But this is where the proficiency of kickers actually comes back and hurts them because they've gotten so good that we expect them to make just about everything, and we forget that's still a long field goal attempt.
And so much pressure there at the end of the game. It's one of those situations, unfortunately, where you're either the hero or you're the GOAT.
And what you also hope is that you've built up equity with your team by making a whole lot of big kicks before so that the occasional miss doesn't hurt you going forward.
So for the Seahawks, it's a very important win as they move to 9-4.